What's up, gangsters? And welcome back to the horrors of 2023. Still going strong. Today we'll be looking at the first of only two non-English language movies, as we're in South Korea for Project Wolf Hunting. A movie that wasn't on my radar at all until people started recommending it to me after I started talking about me doing the series on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you don't already. And I'm glad they did because, woo, this one's a doozy. And this movie starts out strong with a bang. Literally, as we witness this suicide attack during an extradition of Korean criminals from the Philippines back home. So now it's 5 years later, time for another attempt at an extradition. But obviously, they're all on high alert now, so they decide to do so per a huge cargo ship where the dangerous criminals are accompanied by a lot of well-trained cops in a mission called Project Wolf Hunting. Get it? Which is a simple yet effective premise to justify an all-out convict versus police battle in an enclosed, isolated setting type of action movie. And that's exactly what we get here. Basically, the criminals get some outside help and are soon freed and set on taking over the ship, which they do through some pretty brutal means. Because, let there be no mistake, this movie is brutal. It's like, that's what this movie does. Display relentless, brutal violence. Because, damn, does this movie get violent and gory. In a way it reminded me of last year's The Sadness, in that it all definitely quenches fans' thirst for a good old-fashioned, gory action flick. And these guys are ferocious. At some point, the main bad guy, if you will, kills another prisoner just for mentioning that one of the female cops is hot.
그냥 내 거야 임마.
So, slash boom boom rang dang dang, you get it, right? That's some pretty cool shit. And I would have been perfectly content with just that, but what do you know? This movie has a major surprise up its sleeve, which could be considered a bit of a spoiler. I mean, I went into this movie completely blind, and that absolutely helped me with fully enjoying this and, being taken by surprise. So, just so you know, because about halfway through, we're introduced to this mutant-looking motherfucker. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on? Yeah, it turns out that all of a sudden, with zero explanation whatsoever, they have this prisoner with superhuman strength on board that starts killing everyone that comes in his way, Terminator style. It's so ridiculously over the top. He literally punches holes in people and it just fucking happens. You just have to run with it. Okay, granted. And later in the movie, there are a bunch of instances of exposition dump. Some in the form of flashbacks where you learn oh, so and so happened. But I'm not going to bother you with any of that right now. Mostly because, honestly, I just did not really care. To me, this really isn't the type of movie that needs a complex backstory as to what's causing all the mayhem. Just give me that mayhem. If anything, these exposition dumps kinda slow down the pace of the movie. It's the same with later in the movie there's a bunch of twists and turns and whoa. And it mostly made me just go sure, fine, let's do that. It's not the type of movie that needs any of this. But, fortunately, at the same time, besides making the movie run maybe a little longer than it needs to be, it doesn't ruin the experience either. It is mostly just a blast. I mean, you come for the gory violence and you won't be disappointed. There's a lot of great practical effects, although there's definitely some CGI blood splatters here and there as well. In general, the CGI is not the greatest, but mostly forgiven considering the type of movie this is. It's a little inconsistent with the disposability of characters. 1 minute it's again rang dang dang, but the next minute you're why aren't people killing each other? Although I do like that they weren't afraid to almost randomly kill off major characters. I'm also still not entirely sure how I feel about the general look and feel of the movie. This highly contrasted, saturated color grading with a lot of yellows and greens. Arguably a little overused, but
I don't know, it does have a somewhat distinct look to it, at least. But really, in the end, you come for the brutal, merciless violence and unexpected twists and turns, and when it comes to that, this movie fucking delivers.
Yeah, because really, besides all of that, unlike perhaps the filmmakers themselves, I'm not out here to try and make this seem any more complicated than it actually is. You guys want a gory, violent action flick, and well, I'm here to recommend Project Wolf Hunting. It might run a little too long due to like some of the stuff that I mentioned during the spoiler section, but I don't know, I just simply can't hate on this one. Anyone out there already seen this one? Please, I would love to know your thoughts. Really, because I'm not trying to oversell it here, but I mean, this is a pretty fair review, right? Please, let me know in the comments below, and well, until then, I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Cheers. Have a nice day.